And then,
so, like him or don't like him, who's in charge of Bungie at this time is already Pete?
yeah.
Okay, like him or don't like him. This is the same conversation I had about Bobby, who I'm not a fan of, but from a pure shareholder and what the task of a American CEO is.
Oh, he's doing his job spectacularly.
Pete's very good at his job. Like not rejoicing in that, not saying we should do more of that, but like it sounds like he has the ability to take something that's worth $1 and go collect 1,000 and then not even give the thing. Like
right?
Not even give up the initial $1.
A lot of Bungie's I guess credibility or clout, whatever you want to call it. The reason that Bungie's valued so high is because Halo, right? Halo was like a $2 billion franchise before, 343 got a hold of it, for better or worse. And you gotta imagine people look at that name and that legacy and they're like, I mean, it worked. Let's give Bungie credit where credit is due. Destiny 1 was amazing, right? I mean, it was still junk food. It's not like Final Fantasy 14 amazing, but it's like, if you wanted a game that you could just go on and shoot things and it feel good and you had like a bunch of stuff to do and you could get on with your buddies and kind of turn your brain off, amazing. Destiny, after Forsaken, like during that Forsaken year, was amazing, and then it's been off and on over the last couple of years. I would say that Destiny has spent more time bad than good. But like, even when it was bad, you could still find like your reason to play, right? If it's raids, if it's PvP, stuff like that.
And you can run a business on that. I mean, Warhammer does it, right? Speaking of stuff behind you, like the current edition has me and my friends mostly talking crap while there's models set up on a table or building models. It really isn't playing much of the game, but those two things are still enough that we are still giving them money.
Yep. You find you make your fun, basically. Destiny was always a good game where you could like Clubhouse, me and my buddies are going to make our fun. And then occasionally there would be like a gun or something, a piece of armor that like, you'd be like, okay, we're going to lock it in and we're going to make this our fun now.
And WoW does that. It'll have a feature or an individual raid tier or a moment that is like, wow, this is legitimately good. They'll have this Mage Tower type moment where people are like, this is good. And people are like, oh my God, the whole game's going to be good again. And then that chapter fades and you have to make your fun again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because like as kind of an aside though, it's if we look at like No Rest for the Wicked, which like is obviously at the forefront of my mind and playtime, they added in a roguelike element to their what they call the Crucible, which is your kind of repeatable end game content, for lack of a kind of a better term. And in that in and of itself, we have already now just seen Diablo 4, I think, announce something very, very similar to what they did. And then Thomas was like, this is what I want. This is what I want. He stated that he felt so frustrated, especially with Diablo 3, that was kind of a real driving point for him to say, like, I imagined when I was playing Diablo 2 what the future could be like 10 years and 20 years from now. And that never came to be. And so eventually came down. He felt like, I got to do it myself. Fine. Like, okay, if they're not going to do this, I think that this is going to be a really good idea, and hopes that other people then also draw inspiration from that. Because I kind of
saying is he Thanos and got the Infinity Stones himself.
He did. He's just like, screw it.
In electric cars, Tesla got mocked because it spent all this money and it wasn't producing cars. It still debatably doesn't produce cars. And they put up, we just produced our first year of $70,000 cars or whatever. And Ford's like, we do that every day. And then you have GM and Ford starting to come out with their first EVs. And everybody's like, oh my God, like, Elon, don't you feel so dumb? He's like, this is all I wanted. Like, had they been doing this in the first place, I wouldn't have had to make these cars. So like, you see this in innovation where sometimes it comes from just a frustration that the current shareholder is not doing what you want to see happen. And so you just get fed up and do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's like the meme where the guy gets hired at the video game company, goes in, patches the bug, and then like quits.
That's all I was here for, boys. I just needed to get that done.
And you can see it in reverse. Like Helldivers, right, has immense commercial success. And then step one, the guy in charge goes, yes, I'm going to go back to just making games then. Like, you told me we needed to make money to make games. I've made money. Can I just go back to making games?
Yep.
So bringing that full circle to, how we look at Destiny, I honestly get from the news last week is more support for this sense of dread and frustration that has been building up over the course of the last 10 years with this IP, and frustration at Bungie.